Davinci Resolve looks intimidating at first, but it's easier when you get to know how it works. So the program is mainly divided into different tabs: Media, Cut, Edit, Fusion, Color, Fairlight, and Deliver. Let's start with Media. The Media is used to organize and sort out your files. Cut tab for cutting those files and putting them into a basic timeline. Edit is where most of the editing takes place. You have your timeline, editing tools, and effects. Fusion is for special effects and transitions. Color for color grading. Fairlight for audio editing and mixing. And Deliver for exporting. All files are linked in the description down below. So let's start with Media tab. This is where we import our files. There are 3 ways to import. First is to find the folder, this little panel right here. Second is to drag and drop the files in this panel. And the third method is by dragging into the media pool. Okay, so let's get our files. We want to do a bike montage here. I think that should be pretty good. Alright, now that we have all our files here, let's move on to the Cut tab. So the Cut tab is where we organize all these files into a basic timeline. So if you drag it here on the small timeline, you'll see it on the screen. I think these clips are a bit too long, so let's cut the next one that we're going to add. So when you click a video, it's going to show up here in the preview panel. And underneath it is the film strip. To cut a portion of the video, you can either move the small tab here to where you want to cut the video, or you can use the playhead. And hit I for in and O for out. And when you drag this video, it's only gonna take this small chunk of it. It's right here. Keep adding the videos in. That should be pretty good. Let's move over to the Edit tab. As you can see, we have our videos, but we're missing the audio. So we're gonna go to the media pool and find our music. Let's cut this audio for now because we don't want to make a super long video. So if you want to cut, hit Ctrl B. Another way to cut is to move the end of the strip. We're just gonna edit this a little bit. Quick 5-minute edit. Let's go check it. I think that was pretty cool. Let's go add some simple transitions. So when you click a clip, see there's a small tab on both of the ends. Just drag that here, and that's your fade. And let's add another transition under Effects, Toolbox, Video Transitions. I like this non-additive dissolve. Let's grab it and drop it in the middle of 2 clips. That was pretty cool. Let's go add a text. So just right under the video transition, audio transition, you get titles. And just pick basic text. You know, this might be a good time to ask you too. I'm pretty happy with it. And 2 more things. Sound effects. You'll grab those here, drag it. I'm pretty happy with it. Let's move on to the Fusion tab. For today, let's keep it simple and let's add a blur to one of the clips. If you don't see the clip here that you want to edit, just head to the top left of the screen and hit Clips. The Fusion tab works in nodes. So you get a first node for input from the original clip and media out for output with all the effects added. So let's add effects in the middle. Let's grab a blur and just drag it there. And let's change the blur size. Not something crazy like that. That's too much. Something like that. You can always put more effects here. Like that. But we're not going to do it today. Let's move on to the Color tab. Alright, in this tab we'll have a node tree. All clips start with just 1, but we can add as many as we need. How this works is that each succeeding node affects the output of the previous one. So basically just like stacking effects, but we're doing it sideways from left to right instead of upwards. Each node can have multiple adjustments. We can rearrange the nodes, but they'll work in sequence as long as they're connected properly. To add a node, just right click, add node, then add serial, or just hit Alt S. Let's do 4 nodes with 1 adjustment each one. Alright, so let's start with white balance. So you adjust the temperature slider just by the left of the screen. And now that's good. If you want to see before and after, hit Ctrl D to disable it. Or you can hit Alt D to disable all of them. And you can also use the bypass button right here. Alright, so let's rename this node so it doesn't get confusing. Hit R and just type the name. For the second node, let's add the contrast. Let's throw in an S-curve like that. That should be good enough. Here, let's add the saturation. So you adjust it here on the slider. And for the last node, let's add a glow effect. Let's click effects and let's type in glow. And you just drag and drop it here. And you can see it's already applied. Alright, so let's carry over this node tree to the rest of the clips. What we want to do is that select a clip or highlight all of them. Click on the scroll wheel on the graded clip and then apply all those changes to whatever you selected. Alright, I'm liking that. Alright, let's move over to Fairlight. Since we don't have much, we only have 2 audios. We only get 2 faders and 1 fader for the main audio. Go play it. Notice how the level here is clipping. Adjust the volume by sliding this fader down. And if you want to add an effect on any of the audio, just hit the plus icon here. And there are tons of effects here. Just pick whatever fits your project. I think that should be good. Let's move over to deliver. And here you have another timeline as well. Make sure that your video is actually highlighted by this in and out range. If your range looks like this, when you hit render, it's only gonna render this part of the video. And over to the left side, we have a bunch of presets. Just hit YouTube. Everything looks pretty good. Let's click add to render queue. And all the render queues are found here. Since we only have one timeline, one project, let's just click this and hit render all. And all we have to do is to check the video and we're done. I hope you learned something today and let's talk in the comments down below.